All right. We're going to wait to see if anybody joins us and make sure that it is sounding okay. Oh, YouTube is receiving our content. It's syncing our content. Stream health is yellow again. I thought we fixed that last time, but it never seems to matter that much. Once somebody's out there, let us know you can hear us, and we will get started on this thing.
Mike Gallagher says that he can hear us.
Oh, good. Because I was just going to sing No Scrubs a couple more times, but if we can get this thing in a row, that's going to be good. All right.
What color should our stream health be?
It should be green. Let me see if there's a button for it. Stream health. It's the same resolution thing. I don't think it matters.
Okay.
All right. Let me just close my windows in case. Oh, Scott says he's gonna watch. He's stuck on Gorkar 2D. We're stuck on. I can't even remember Rigel 2B. So we're probably equally frustrated at this point. All right. And with that, I'm gonna start the song.
No Scrubs?
No, it's the song. We can sing No Scrubs to it.
No.
I don't want no scrubs. The scrub is a fish that can't get no love from me. Sitting at the passenger side of my best friend's case. I can't think of a fish.
Combined into the two songs.
I did.
Oh, I didn't actually look at what our run of show was, but that's fine.
That's fine. I know what it is. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode -9 of All Wings Considered, the only Wing Commander show on the internet for a reason. I'm your host, Loaf, and I'm joined this week by Not Dunderdahl.
I'm Allie.
Allie is our backup host, I guess you'd say, and that is because Jason decided to take a vacation this week, which is one of those vacations that's in a horror movie. Apparently, he's not having a good night. He made the rookie mistake of getting the lobster on a mountain, which I feel very bad for him. He sounds like so. We're hoping that he feels better very, very soon. But we're gonna try doing the show with a different host, and we'll do all the usual antics.
I'm very uncomfortable on camera, so...
I'm very uncomfortable on camera too, but you get used to it, and then the camera just starts to love you. And you become a superstar! No?
No.
Alright, well, as always, we're going to start with some small talk. I just realized that I beefed up our thing. I'm going to fix it live.
Debeef it.
No, it's not debeefing meat readily. So that's about as unbeefed as we'll get. All right. This is going great.
Yep.
So,
not my
small
fault.
talk. How was your week?
It's been a pretty quiet week here. Mm-hmm. We've had the extreme polar vortex blast coming through.
Yeah, and I should point out, we're in Maryland, and our extreme polar vortex is like slightly colder than it usually is in the winter versus like all those people in the middle of the country. They're
it's no Chicago here.
2 degrees Kelvin and whatever. But we did have a pipe explosion. So
we did have an outdoor pipe explosion this morning, but I think we caught it right away, and I frantically called our landlord. This is now the third frantic water emergency call I've made to our landlord since we've moved here.
Cursed against water.
Yeah, but all good now, I think. So.
But the emergency landlord stuff here in Maryland is better than California because at least it's not poop related.
Yes, we had a lot of toilet issues in California.
Our toilet was from the 1930s, I think.
Yeah, very old plumbing, constantly overflowing.
Our apartment in Santa Monica was just like one step away from like Flintstones era.
Yeah, we actually talked. We were talking to our friends that were visiting in December, who also lived in the same apartment that we did in California, and now that we've all moved out of that apartment, it was easy to admit that it was like slumlord level.
Yeah, it was, but of course it's Santa Monica slumlord level, so you're still paying the same thing we're paying for a house here in Rockville.
Yes. So
yeah.
So what else have we done this week?
Well, I have done some creative projects. I have been kind of trying to force myself to get up early in the morning and do some creative thing each day. And, of course, it's all Wing Commander related, so I can share some of that. But I created a set of nice credits for the end of the show, so we're starting to look like a real show. You'll see at the end. I hope folks like them. And my brother Silas, your brother-in-law Silas, and I did a second Star Trek Discovery video where we talked through the second episode, which was great. Star Trek Discovery Season 2 is really good. I encourage anybody to watch it. I don't encourage anybody to watch our commentary. It's not that good. But I do encourage people to watch the show. And we're going to do a third one tomorrow morning. So the third episode airs about an hour and a half or an hour. So watch Star Trek Discovery, possibly instead of this program. I made a timeline of different Thrustmasters because I was trying to figure out where the licensing deal with Origin happened, where they got bought out by the French company, what products they put out. And it's interesting putting together this company's history based on old Usenet bits and pieces where people were like, oh, this just came out. So, okay, that was January 1995. But I've figured out that all the Origin stuff was in late 96, and it was actually part of the line that helped kill the company, so that was great. Everybody always says, oh, of course, joysticks got really crummy. People, you want to sell them to more people. But as I looked over the numbers in the Thrustmaster, they do incredible business every quarter up until they do a discount line, and it ruins the cachet of their brand. And luxury brands are a thing. So it was interesting.
Luxury brands are a thing.
Yeah, and they put out the Top Gun, which we'll talk about a little bit later, and it's a cheaper joystick that's supposed to look like their other joysticks, and it just, people don't care anymore. They market they lose like 30% of their market value in a quarter in first Q1 97, and they end up getting bought out by a French company. So interesting business stuff, and we're going to do a big Thrustmaster video someday that's that history.
There have been a lot of joysticks coming into this house in the past few weeks.
Yes, and the best one is not come yet, and I'll wait for Done It All for that one, because it's a genuinely exciting thing that neither of us have ever seen before. That makes any sense at all. In fact, I'll say, it's the Warthog, the regular modern one with the throttle, the giant metal one, costs, the MSRP is $499.99 today. And this is a single joystick that in 1995 cost $500.
Wow.
So that's like $800 today. I don't know. It's a very, very fancy Thrustmaster joystick, signed by an astronaut and another astronaut, I think. So
which astronauts is it signed by?
Joe Engel, who did STS-1, the first Columbia mission, back in when I was born, April 81. And the most exciting thing that I have been working on is, of course, last week we answered Scott's question about the CCG. We talked through some of that history, showed off some cards, and I got to thinking about a little booklet it came with.
Tiny books.
And this map. And remember we talked about Star of the Guardians, and I was in my mind, Star of the Guardians is exactly the same as Wing Commander. And I remember having a Star of the Guardians playmat that you came with the starter and you unfolded it, and I remember specifically actually taping extra cards to it so it looked cool. So I actually ordered a box of Star of the Guardians cards, because they're incredibly cheap, as we talked about last week. And it turned out that while the rules are the same, the map is not. So here's the Star of the Guardians map, which you can see that it looks so much like Wing Commander cards. It has the same counter there, same rule order, but it doesn't have the nav map like Wing Commander. So I was inspired to learn Illustrator. I'm trying to learn the different Adobe programs just because that's something you can rely on.
Because you want them as a sponsor.
Yes, Adobe, sponsor this show. If there's any show that shows off the high quality professional graphics you can create with an Adobe product, it's this. So I decided to learn Illustrator, and in 2 days I was able to recreate what I did was I scanned a 1200 DPI, the tiny little booklet, and I carefully learned how to draw over it in vector graphics. So I now have my own vector graphics version. There it is, our Art Bello Vision. And it's a 1-for-1 match, pretty much. It's really cool, and I'm going to have it printed up. There's these companies that do game mats. So this is going to be my first one, just the black and white one that matches the book. And if that's a success, if the end product is really cool, I'm going to try to do a color one with a star field and make it look like a nav map. And I'm also trying to look at this guy. This is the 4-player version of the game. There's no official 4-player version, but Dom Perrin posted on the Usenet back in the day. This is the game we've tested. This is the version we've tested for 4 players, and so it has a couple rule changes to get it to work, and it has this giant nav map. So I think it would just be super cool to have a giant 4-player Wing Commander CCG map.
Trillian says it looks great.
I'm really pleased with it because I tend to think that everything I do looks awful. I guess it's just that imposter syndrome that everybody has, and I'm really proud of how this is coming together.
It looks really good.
It does look. Yeah. I've managed to match the fonts exactly, and it's coming together. So yeah, that's the thing. And with that, we're gonna do the Wing Commander news.
Hang on, we skipped the mystery box.
Oh, we skipped the mystery. Oh, you want to talk about the?
Yes.
Because I remembered I forgot. Oh, you brought the mystery box.
I brought the mystery box.
Okay.
So. Last week we were ordering some lunch on DoorDash, and we noticed that there was a promotion from Burger King that said if you ordered $10 worth of Burger King that day, you'd be eligible for this special box that is Super Bowl tied into the Super Bowl somehow. So we initially did not order Burger King because Burger King is gross. And then several hours went by, and we decided that we absolutely needed to find out what was in this box. So we did order Burger King, and then this showed up today. So, yes, this ties in with some Super Bowl promotion that's going to happen. We don't fully know what it's going to be yet, but I can show off the contents of the box.
Absolutely, show off the contents of the mystery box.
All right, so first of all, it has this note inside. Should I read the note?
Yeah,
read the note. All right. It says, hey, you're probably wondering, what did I get here? A wig, an empty bottle of ketchup, a vintage Burger King bag, and a DoorDash promo code to get a free Whopper. It might not make sense now, but it's all you'll need to be part of the big game. You also might be tempted to order that delicious free Whopper now. Don't do it. It'll be worth it to wait and order on game day. So blah, 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 blah. Then there's a bunch of stuff we don't need to read. So it came with this basic plastic empty ketchup bottle, the code for the free Whopper, this gray wig in a bag, and then this vintage Burger King bag. And I think the return address was like a print shop somewhere in Southern California.
Yeah, it was Culver City.
Yeah. So when it came, we weren't sure what was in it, but that's, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, it's some particular ad agency, so that should be fun.
Yeah. So I guess now we have to watch the Super Bowl.
To watch the Super Bowl and apparently order a Whopper during the Super Bowl.
Yes, and it also notes that it's free delivery on the Whopper also. So they really have... This is exciting. Marketing is not that cool, I guess, but sometimes it is, and this is fun.
I love the idea of a mystery box. I remember a couple of years ago, I was on a business trip in San Antonio, and I was staying at this hotel down by the Riverwalk, and I checked in, and they said, "Oh, your boss has called and left their credit, their like rewards card number on your room. You can either give them the rewards or we keep the points and you get the mystery bag." And it was seriously one of those little gift bag, little hard paper, like brown paper gift bag, and it had a question mark written on it. And of course, I didn't even think twice. I wanted the mystery bag.
Of course.
And luckily, no one ever found out about that.
But it wasn't exciting. It had like a granola bar.
Yeah, I was very hungry at that point, so the granola bar was welcome. It was like a granola bar and a bottle of water and like a shower cap or something. But, yeah.
Well worth it.
Absolutely. So now we're looking forward to the Super Bowl because we're going to something with a Whopper.
Yep.
Worst comes to worst, we have to eat a Whopper, and that's still not great.
Alright, should we move on to the news?
Yes, let's do the Wing Commander news. Hey everybody, welcome to the latest Wing Commander news straight from WCNews.com. Although this first update is not yet on WCNews.com, so... Wing Commander Arena! You know it, you love it, I love it, no one else loves it. but it does exist. And there is some surprising news about Wing Commander Arena this week, because on January 24th last week, it was apparently released in Japan. It is 12 or 13 years late for some reason. It came out on Japanese Xbox Live Arcade on the 360, not the Xbox One. It has not been ported, but it went for sale for the first time last week, which is just darn surprising all around, because I've been waiting, oh my god, when are they going to kill XBLA? When are we not going to be able to play this anymore? When are we not going to play this so well? And now they're just selling it for the first time to an audience? It's crazy. I don't know why. No one seems to know why, but it did happen. And if you're in Japan, it's about 1,200 yen, which is about $10. And Wing Commander Arena. So next week, when Jason is here, we're going to plug in the 360 and see if Arena is full of new Japanese players. The crazy thing about this is I worked in Arena back in the day, and part of the whole raison d'etre for the project was Electronic Arts wanted to get into the Japanese shmup-style games where you're a little ship and you shoot stuff around you. The game was intended to be something that would sell in Japan way back when, and they just never did it until now. Musicura went through the history and found that they sold the Arena themes. They did some of the promo stuff, but they never released the game. So now it's available, and I'm confused. Story number 2. Iceblade of Wing Commander RPG fame is running, wait for it, a new Wing Commander RPG.
What?
He has set up a Discord for a new RPG set in the Gemini sector, and they're accepting all sorts of players. So the link for that will be in the comments if you want to join RP session. It's pen and paper dice style stuff, but done online via text. So you create a character and you roll and have adventures with him, and it looks like a tremendous amount of fun. I know the guys have been doing that for years. They did a Wing Commander Mush back in the day. They did a forum-based role-playing game for a while. And of course, everybody's veterans of the Aces Club and PBMs and stuff. So if you want to get a little bit of that feeling again, it looks like it's already pretty active. So sign up. Next up, Admiral Maverick has released a set of new ship cards for his tabletop game, including the Excalibur, the Pactan, the Lance, a bunch of familiar ships from Wing Commander 3 and 4. There's an Epi from Wing 2. But those are all available at the CIC. You can download and print them. His whole game is printable by anyone. And so there's a lot of Wing Commander pen and paper gaming going on right now, and that's always cool. And we reported on this guy last week, the Air RC. It looks like it's ARC, but it's Air RC. It's like a written pun. Air RC Pirate and Inside's RC Hornet was being constructed last week, and this week it got its very first flight. Let's check that out. It's up, it's up, it's up! Oh my god, it actually flies! This is incredible! So, good first try. Ended up like Hornet. Yeah, ended up like Hunter in Secret Missions 2. But he's making some changes to the balance, and that Hornet's going to be flyable eventually. And if you've ever seen any of those RC guys who are crazy about this stuff, it absolutely will be flyable. They make crazy stuff fly. And last but not least, for this short week of Wing Commander news, everybody's favorite Defiance Industries is somebody you can't say Krant to. No, that didn't work.
You can't say Krant to.
You can't. It's a Krant! Everybody's least favorite medium fighter from Wing Commander 1 is now a fancy 3D model, twin cockpit and all. So get your Krant on at the CIC.
Why is that the least favorite medium fighter?
There's two Karathi medium fighters in Wing Commander 1, Dralthi, which is the famous pancake one. Mm-hmm. And Dralthi are really easy to shoot down. And they're very satisfying to blow up. Krant are more nimble, they've got more armor, and it's just a little bit, it's just frustrating enough.
All right.
And that is it for the Wing Commander news. So next up, we are going back to the Rigel system, where we were stuck last time on Secret Mission, Special Operations 1. We were stuck on Rigel 2, which is the second and thankfully final Epi mission. And it's much, much harder than I remember. But we're going to give it another couple tries today, see if we can get further.
We give it the old Riger.
Yes. The Riger?
Isn't that what it was?
Rigel.
Rigel, sorry. I'm paying attention. What do you mean?
Alright, let's talk gameplay. Opening Wing Commander 2. There's my cool launcher. Yeah, be proud of my launcher. Oh, I need my space earphones. Trillian says, RC plans are not my thing, but it makes him happy knowing. That is exactly my feeling about them, too. It's one of those things where I understand how cool it is. I could never do it, but I appreciate that there's an audience out there that is super into.
He says no sound.
What's that?
Trillian says no sound.
Oh, Crumbo. Let's see, because I have sound. Maybe I muted it. Why is there no sound? Is that sound now, maybe? Let us know in a couple seconds if you now hear sound. Or if you hear this part. Okay, there we go.
Yes, okay.
I'm not sure why desktop audio was muted, but... Oh, but why is it so small? Oh, okay. Now everything's good. Alright, Oop. My headphones were hitting the afterburners. Sorry about that. What I learned practicing this after our last failure, and I did manage to get through it once out of like 10 tries, is that I should play the mission in reverse order. Try to get these first epis out of the way. Basically, we've got 3 nav points full of epis, or 2 nav points full of epis, 1 full of ferrets, and if we go and find Bear, then... If we go and find Bear, then he... Then he will shoot through my rear. Which, of course, these epis will do too, but we're actually doing pretty well so far. We've got 3, 4 down. Although the real killer for me on this one is the 2 ferrets at nav 2, or the 4 ferrets. The first wave is okay, the second one spawns so close to you that it tends not to give you your distance advantage. The one thing I've learned from practicing this mission about 30 times the other day, the way to fly an epi is to... The way to fly an epi is to fight at maximum gun range. You can get 1 or 2 kills in your first pass using your proton cannons. Once you get up close with a ferret or another epi, you're in trouble. I'm gonna afterburn. Oh, nope, I hear him shooting at me. See, if you fight at a distance, you can do a good job. But if you don't, if you get caught up in these turning battles with more than one ship, one of them is getting on my rear while I'm trying to get this first one. But I'm actually doing very, very well. That was great! That was really good. That was so hard last time, and I just... Well, we still got 2 epis to shoot down, and, you know, Murphy's Law being what it is, we shouldn't be too happy yet, but that was a nice, clean sweep.
Trillian says the next nav will go terribly.
What's that?
Trillian says the next nav will go terribly.
Okay, we're down to 1. he's a fighter. He's damaged me. But, don't count your chickens before they hatch. But I think we might be able to do this thing.
I'm not better at providing commentary for this part because I'm not entirely sure what's going on.
I am just so keyed up about finishing this mission that I'm not doing a good job at commentary. But, Done It All isn't that good at commentary either, so you're okay.
Alright.
And once we finish this, you can do the dialogue reading.
Alright.
Okay, we got him.
Nice work.
One thing I've been thinking about Special Operations since last week is, when you are... Let's do the rendezvous first. So there is Body Bag. Epi Pilot, this is Lieutenant Jason Bear-Bondorevsky of the TCS Gettysburg. Identify yourself now or we will take hostile action.
Lieutenant, this is Colonel First Name, Call Sign, PC Name. Was I supposed to fill that in?
No.
I'll escort you back to the carrier now.
We'll follow you, Colonel. No fast moves or we'll open fire on you.
Should he be like Southern? I'm not your enemy, Bear. I'm here to help you and the Gettysburg crew.
That hasn't been proven yet, sir.
Dun dun dun.
So we are meeting Jason Bear-Bondorevsky for the first time. This is going to be the character who goes off and is the hero of Endron and the various novels, and we'll certainly talk about him in future editions of this. But no, I was thinking about Special Operations 1 and how it's noticeably weak. It's pushing the boundaries in all these weird ways. The Admiral wants to speak with you, sir. Admiral Tolwan's office, TCS Concordia. Got me back, Colonel?
I rendezvoused with oh wait, this is a different guy.
No, it's you. It's the same one.
Okay. I brought both Bear and his wingman back safely.
Good work, call sign. Anything else to report, Colonel?
I took down 10 Gettysburg pilots. I wish there could have been some other way, sir.
No, I'm very happy about that.
But they were trying to kill me and I didn't have any choice.
I know, call sign. This awful situation is killing good pilots, whose only crime is disobeying an illegal order. I'll have another mission for you shortly, call sign. Dismissed.
Go out and keep killing. I agree, Trelane. He's got a good cape going on there.
So when I was a teenager, if you had told me, oh, the mission design isn't so good in this, it's weaker than the other game, it's more experimental, whatever, I would have, fought with you, because that's what teenagers do. They have their thing they love or they have their thing they hate, and you battle about it. But as I get older, I think, okay, I can see. Yes, obviously the circumstances were the add-on. This was made by the B team of employees. It had a really strict ship date. Everybody was trying to do something exciting because they want to prove that they're good enough to make, Wing Commander 3. And they're pushing the boundaries in these ways, and it works here and it doesn't work here, and it's interesting to see why it does and doesn't work. That makes it better in my mind today. Let's do our storyline, because I figure we should keep playing. We beat that in one.
Yeah.
Colonel PC name. Report to the detention area 1D immediately. Call sign. I'll want to talk to you in a moment. Lieutenant Bondorevsky, please continue. Admiral, we took the Rigel depot because we needed the supplies. We didn't want to kill anyone. But Colonel Ransom's team, one of the prisoners, tried to escape, and it was a massacre. My squadron and Lieutenant Colonel Ploma, we told Ransom to go to hell and left. Admiral, maybe what we did was wrong, The mutiny against Commodore Kane. But we're not murderers and traitors, sir. No one's saying you are, Lieutenant. Call sign, let me explain the tactical situation to you. A majority of the mutineers' forces are stationed at the Rigel Supply Depot. I thought that the depot had been destroyed, but as it turns out, it's now their temporary headquarters. We'll need to retake that depot and the Gettysburg to resolve the situation. Look at those security guards!
I was going to say, what's going on with those guards?
Bear says that Lieutenant Colonel Pullman and his squadron want to return to the Confederation. While the piratical forces are now occupying the depot.
Piratical forces?
Having the properties of a pirate. Your opinion on the success of an attack on the supply depot, Colonel?
Not good. If they can bring in the Gettysburg to... Wait, yeah. Sorry. If they can bring in the Gettysburg to defend the depot...
Yes, that's what Colonel Devereaux thought. We almost went to Gettysburg last weekend. Blast it. We need to separate those two forces, the Gettysburg and the depot.
Blast it.
I'll return to the Gettysburg, sir. I can convince them. Not possible, Lieutenant. Regulations require I keep you here under arrest. But if I could, Bondarevsky, I'd give you a medal and a promotion instead of this cell. You're a fine officer, and I'm very proud of what you've done. No, I'll have to send someone else to contact the Gettysburg crew.
Admiral, I'll fly this mission.
No, they'll kill you, sir!
I'm willing to accept the risks, Lieutenant. Admiral?
It's a good idea, Callsign. I'll let you know what I decide.
Is he really supposed to have a southern accent?
Yours?
Yeah.
He does have a southern accent in the speech back for this, of the intro.
Okay.
Of course, he gets played by Mark Hamill after this. But I wanted to point out something about this scene here. A couple things, actually. I'm just playing it. So, this background here with the cell, the guards, and then both of these, the close-up background here, these are all taken from assets that were created for Wing Commander 2 proper that didn't fit on the discs. And just like in Wing Commander 1 Secret Missions, they would gather all these extra parts and say, what can we do with that? Since one of the big things that was cut from Wing Commander 2, in fact, I've heard it was the only big thing cut from Wing Commander 2, was the intro scene where Blair is accused of being a traitor and you see his trial and so on. And it got condensed into just one conversation in an office that could be reused later, just because there was not enough space on the diskettes. So that's why you see so many trials and jails and stuff in Secret Ops 1 and 2, because they have all these assets. And Bear himself, he's not a new graphic. He's one of the background people in Wing Commander 2, when you look in the briefings. The other thing we see here that is interesting is that Wing Commander 2 has real nuance to the characters. You know, in Wing Commander 2, you hated Admiral Tolwyn. He was this terrible man who thought you were a traitor, and you knew you weren't. But every single person you ever talk to, says, "Oh no, he's actually a good man. He's a great captain, but he cares about protecting his people. He hates you because he believes you're a traitor, not because he's a jerk who hates people." And all the indications are that yes, you are a traitor. He doesn't know you like we do, and in these missions, you've proven yourself, and so in the add-ons, he's actually this super good commander. He respects you. He includes you in the decision process. He seems to really like you. And of course, then he gets cast as Malcolm McDowell in the other game, so he's purely evil after that. But Wing 2, its writing has so much more nuance than, oh, this guy's bad. I just noticed something about this scene here. When this door is open, I think that's a graphic from Wing Commander 1 on the inside. The lights up at the top, I think it's the Tiger's Claws, the debriefing room. I'll have to dig out the assets and check, but I'd never noticed that before.
Does it matter that this is frozen?
No. as long as it's still playing.
It's still. I have it.
Okay, then yeah, that's fine. It's just R1 that got weird.
Getting weird.
Things are about to get weird. Flight deck, TCS Concordia. Admiral Tarwell has advised me of your next mission, callsign. Lieutenant Bondarevsky gave us the Gettysburg's last coordinates. You'll fly your program nav course, touching each nav point. As you do so, your onboard system will begin transmitting the Admiral's message. With luck, the Gettysburg will learn from the message that they have been pardoned. If you can land on the Gettysburg and convince them to return to you. The Admiral has advised me that the Roger Depot crew are to be considered unsalvageable. We cannot allow the depot or the Gettysburg to remain in the pirates' control. Your orders are to destroy the depot and the Gettysburg if that occurs. I am assigning Lieutenant Haley to you, callsign. He is our best saber gunner. No more Epi. First name, this is a dangerous mission.
I can do it, Angel.
I know, mon cher. I wish you did not have to go. But if you cannot succeed at this, no one will.
One of the things that you love in life is doing Angel's voice.
I like doing stupid accents. Unfortunately, Richard Nixon is not in this. So we say goodbye to the Epi forever. There will not be another Epi mission ever. Thank God. Although the saber also kind of sucks. I love that Wing Commander 2 dialogue. Dedication. Absolute dedication to making sure we know there's a turret gunner. You know, Wing Commander 3 never bothered. There's never a point where you're a turret gunner. But Wing 2 makes such a point of it. The nice thing about this is it cuts through ferrets quite easily. This is just, I can take a couple hits. With the Epi, the real strategy was, once you started taking hits, you needed to switch targets, even if you were really close to killing whoever you were fighting. This guy, I can have a little bit more leeway. I honestly don't remember the specifics of this mission, but I know I did it earlier and it was fine, so. But I gotta hand it to Scout. He was playing those missions, and I had thought they were much easier than they are. I'm thinking, why do I keep targeting a ferret and its nose is damaged? It's because of Lieutenant Haley in my turret. Because when these guys try to hit me in the rear, I've got turret guns back there that shoot them up.
Don't go near his rear.
I mean, the only problems with the saber are the shields go down far too easily, and the guns are so wide. Like, look at that dispersal. If you saw when I was fighting those ferrets, I was having to aim one side of my guns at them rather than all four, which is frustrating. I like how close the guns are together on the Epi, and I love how close they are on the ferret. Saber, a little bit different.
Take that, saber.
Alright, what do we have here? Oh, now it's payback time for some Epis.
Watching you play this just reminds me how confusing trying to play this game really is.
Well, in a future episode, we'll get you, we'll teach you to fly.
I've played Wing 2 with you before.
Yeah, we'll play some.
I'm not good at it at all. It's very hard.
Well, you'll get used to it.
I mean, I haven't played a lot of flight space sort of games, so.
I mean, you're pretty good at, like, GTA and stuff now, and...
I am, yes.
I mean, remember when we first got Destiny?
Yes, I was accidentally shooting everybody in the crotch when the first time we played Destiny.
Again, I'm aiming with one gun rather than both sides.
Trillian said Dunder Mifflin is a part of Saber. And he also said that WC2 is very fast-paced, which is true.
But so much more so than Wing Commander 1.
It is. Like, all of a sudden there's, like, a ship right up on you, and...
Yes. And especially if you've been playing X-Wing, which is so tactical in comparison.
I haven't been playing X-Wing.
I have. I've been doing the training missions very slowly. I don't have my old pilot character, so I've been earning all my badges. And, that guy's running, so...
Looks like you got a little damage there.
Yeah, but I think I'm doing good. In fact, that might have been it. Or maybe we have one more nav point. Saber Pilot, this is TCS Gettysburg. Do you read?
Reading you loud and clear, Gettysburg. Please transmit your coordinates.
Negative on that, Saber Pilot. Recommend you leave immediately, sir, or we will take hostile action against you.
I'm staying here until you rendezvous with me, Gettysburg.
Copy that, Saber. Hold on this channel. Nothing like playing, 5 minutes later, playing chicken with a heavy cruiser. Transmitting nav coordinates. Please proceed to the rendezvous point. Really compelling argument I just made there, apparently. Here's one of the weirdest things about this game. If you look at this nav point here, there were green ships everywhere. Mm-hmm. There's no other part of Commander 2 or any of the add-ons where you see green ships on your VDU.
Polma, this is Colonel First Name Call Sign Your Lieutenant Bondareski is aboard the Concordia. Concordia. He gave me your coordinates so I could speak with you.
How can we know you didn't get your coordinates from Bear with a chemical interrogation?
Colonel Polma?
Polma.
Polma, I'm talking to you when I should be firing torpedoes at your ship. Don't you think you can trust me enough to let me land? He's a straight shooter.
Colonel, we are activating the ACLS. Be prepared to surrender your sidearm upon landing.
Affirmative, Polma. PC name out. Don't be trying to read my lines.
Sorry about that. Oh, look at this cool alternate landing scene. Security here to escort you to the brig, Colonel. Well, here we are in the Gettysburg. Let's save again. Yes. Rigel D. View storyline.
Where's my gunnery officer? What have you done with Lieutenant Haley?
Again, the concern for Lieutenant Haley. The lieutenant is in another cell, Colonel. What happens on him depends on you.
Colonel Polma, Admiral Tolwyn sent me here because all of you have been pardoned. You were issued an illegal order by your commander. You were right not to obey it. Confed High Command is already court-martialing your commander. Sorry, it's hard to read the pixelated text. My mission is to escort you back to the Concordia. But there isn't much time. If you and the other mutineers don't return with me now...
There's less time than that, Colonel. A Confed envoy is en route to the depot. Convoy is en route to the depot.
They don't know that they've taken over the depot. They'll be murdered like the depot crew.
Why hasn't anyone told them? This has been going on for weeks.
There's no more time. We'll have to launch an attack. Against that... What?
It's wrong grammar.
Okay. You have to decide now, Polma. Are you with the Confederation or the pirates? My southern accent keeps developing.
Sir, we can't attack the depot. All our senior officers and wing leaders left with the Commodore.
I'll lead you into battle, Polma. Just resupply my ship and let my gunner out of his cell.
We have a better ship for you, Colonel. A crossbow, YA-18A, experimental prototype.
Now they're giving him new ships. That'll do. Let's move, Polma.
So you think we're getting this amazing new ship that's going to be so cool and fun, but it's just a beefier broadsword. And we'll see that in a moment. I wanted to put the Y designation in there. Jason would tell us that it means production prototype in a USAF designation system. So this is the prototype crossbow they've been talking about. We talked about earlier, like last week. All hands, battle stations. This is not a drill.
This is my favorite part of this game.
You see that we don't have all the animations for the crossbow, so there's no scene of you getting in, just the takeoff. But totally new ship. It's pretty and white and cool. It's got a big star on it.
Crossbow Assault Wing. This is Colonel PC name. Fall into attack V formation. Arm ship killer torpedoes. And prepare to autopilot on my mark.
Affirmative. We're with you, Colonel. Okay, so the immediate thing that's disappointing about this is I'm hitting the tab key, no afterburners. This is slightly faster than the broadsword, but not significantly so. It also has one fewer missiles, same number of torpedoes, but it does not have side turrets. It has a rear turret, but not sides. So it's kind of a trade-off variant of the broadsword. The cool thing about the crossbow is this front gun, which I'll fire now. It's a 5-shooter. Three mass drivers and 2 neutron cannons. So if you happen to hit something with it, that thing is dead in a hit or two. But it's kind of disappointing overall. But we will get a real super ship next time. Here's the Doric and the Pathos, I believe, are the transports.
Clydesdale pilot, do you read? This is Colonel PC name of the TCS Concordia.
Affirmative, Colonel. What's the Concordia doing out here in the Rigel system?
No time for explanations, Clydesdale. You must divert course immediately. The Rigel depot has been captured by enemy forces. We'll escort you to the closest jump point. PC name out.
That seemed like an explanation, by the way. This is my favorite Wing 2 transport. Doric and the Pathos. I don't know what the reference there is, but I should look it up. Alright, so now we're flying an escort mission. Our bombers look positively huge compared to those Clydesdales. One thing you might be curious about is what happens if you lose this mission, or if you lose the previous mission. The answer is that the Gettysburg is destroyed off screen, but that some survivors, including Bear, survive and arrive with a crossbow you can fly for the final assault on the station. So the losing mission 5 of this series is an alternate assault on the station in which you have to fight crossbows in addition to epis and ferrets. Nice. Like that made really should. I mean, those things cause nightmares for us for 2 weeks, and I have the armor to just take my time and whack them in this. Wait for the Doric. Yeah. What you gonna do, Doric? Oh, jump down! By the way, who are my wingmen? I saw Colonel Polma. Quinlan and Polma. Poelma? Okay. Pirate base attack. There goes our frame rate.
Watch your target, sir.
Yeah, sorry.
Watch it, sir.
Well, stop getting in my way, guys.
One enemy fighter down.
Nice. It's very satisfying when you get all 5 guns hitting one target in a in one of these guys. That took out his shield generator. You see how they all snapped off at once just then? I have been in his shoes flying an Epi, so I know what this is like. Yay! Okay, what else are we talking about here? Still don't understand why they're unidentified. It's obviously an Epi. And again, the fact that the first half of this is fighting Confed ships is smart asset reuse. It's them taking these ships that they had to have already in the game, and now they are available in a different. Their game plays differently using the same parts, which was something you had to do in those days. Come on, what the heck? I want to let... You know, why don't I just do that?
Not a chance, Flyboy.
Okay.
I guess he told you.
He did. There we go. Okay, except I need to recharge my shields before we go anywhere, guys.
Does that, when he's like screaming in death,
Yeah.
Does that mean they're like radioing you just to scream as they die?
I don't know why it does that, honestly. But,
I'd like to think that as I'm dying, I would do that.
I guess they're just starting to insult you anyway. And,
Okay. And they just happen to die in that moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's one small treasure. You know what? I gotta stop for a minute and recharge my shields, because it's stupid to attack a capital ship without shields. As frustrating as it is to wait for that counter to go back up to 50. Although maybe Quinlan will get a torpedo in there and my job will be easier.
Trillian says he really enjoys that cockpit.
This is a good cockpit, and I was just noticing. Oh, I guess it's only in the 3/4 shot how you see the warning. There's like a safety label on the side of the boom. Mm-hmm. Folks out there probably know there's this huge archive of 3D models that was saved from Origin that includes many of the Wing Commander 2 era models. And for years, the crossbow model has been really weird because it's the textures, but it's the ship, but it doesn't have the textures. It has instead like a green paint scheme. And what we figured out was that it basically has the file name is wrong, and it's pulling the files for the cruiser, the Gettysburg Cruiser or the Gilgamesh Destroyer instead of the crossbow, and it still looks like a ship, but it's not quite right. And the strangest thing is, if you look at the crossbow in Wing Commander Academy, if you create a mission and you put a crossbow there on the mission creation thing, there's this little spinning ship in the corner, and it shows whatever ship you're putting down. The crossbow, it has that wrong texture. It has the green cruiser texture. So try that out sometime. And I'll show right after this. If we get this kill, it's so strange. It's like you see how these files were weird and frustrating for us, and we figured out what it was, and Origin had the same problem. Okay, classic torpedo run. We got that torpedo run music. This is a new asset, or an asset they... Okay.
What happened?
I think I got hit by Quinlan's torpedo.
You have died.
I have died. Escorting the freighters again. We can skip the conversation this time. So, how's everything out there in Chatland?
Leha was having some trouble getting to the stream from Discord. I think it might be some kind of mobile phone issue.
Oh.
And that's about it.
Alright. Alright, here's some Eppies again.
Enemy fighter destroyed.
Yeah, nice job. Alright, we can do this. Or maybe I should just let it come behind me. That random torpedo hit aside, it's interesting that these guys don't really shoot through me like the other AI do.
Watch your target, sir.
That wasn't so good.
Got a little too cocky earlier in the...
Yeah.
Yep.
Because this is not a hard mission.
Right, sometimes it goes like that.
Does. I hit my mouse, that's why I'm spinning weirdly. So see, there you could see just then the plane style warning label right to the side of me, which I thought was a cool touch. Now, at this point in history, Origin's top 3D guys are off working on Strike Commander, so this is slim pickings. But I was trying to point out last time, the base we see is a new model. It's not the Star Base from Wing Commander 2. It's a smaller... smaller guy.
I think we got Leha sorted out.
Watch it, sir.
Watch your target, sir.
Leha has been sorted out. That's good news.
Yes, I think he's able to watch.
Well, hello, Leha. We're just hopefully killing some Gettysburg pilots. Sorry, Gettysburg pirates.
Watch your target, sir.
You're hitting me, sir.
Sorry, lady. I'm curious which of them is the female one, honestly.
The second one was.
I know, but is it Palma or Quinlan?
Oh. Does it never identifies?
If you saw in that last scene, we never saw any faces, and it was just his face in the cell. We didn't see who was interrogating us.
Affirmative, sir.
Okay, Palma is the lady.
Mystery solved.
Affirmative, sir.
One jump, two jump. All right. Seems like the real danger for these crossbows is just the close formation with the other two. One thing that does take a while for crossbow is reloading or recharging. Yay!
Concentration going on here.
Okay, so let's try this again. In fact, I should just hang in space for a minute. Or, I don't know. Let me get close enough to target. If you aren't familiar with Torpedo Runs and Wing Commander 2, they are incredibly frustrating. But ultimately rewarding. You feel so great after you accomplish one of these missions that... Okay.
So you're locked on the pirate base now.
Yes. In fact, I can lock my torpedoes from here. But they're going to shoot... I mean, it's very likely that they will shoot this torpedo down if I fire it now. Let's find out. Yep. Oh. So that was just a waste of a torpedo. Luckily I have 4. Within 3,000 meters is usually the best time to launch your torpedo. $4,000, $3,000. Nice, we both hit him. That's it.
Nice work.
Thank you.
Affirmative. You are cleared to land.
You are cleared to land. And that is it for the Rigel series. And the first half of Special Operations 1, which is totally unrelated to the second half. I mean, there's a little bit of crossover. Bear shows up at the very end to save the day and kill you a bunch, but it's really a separate story from the second half, which is about the Gorokhar Rebellion. The Admiral wants to see you on the bridge, sir. The bridge, TCS Concordia. Welcome back, Colonel. Your report?
I rendezvoused with the Gettysburg, sir. The Rigel Depot pirates were about to attack a Confed convoy. So I convinced the Gettysburg pilots to assist me in an attack against the base. We launched and headed toward the Rigel Depot. Whoa. My light just went out. The renegade pilots were defending their base. I had to take them out to clear the way to the depot, sir. Then I destroyed the pirate base.
Good work, Colonel. I knew you could do it.
I wish there could have been another way to resolve this situation, sir.
I know, callsign, but we couldn't risk the pirates remaining in control of that base.
It's true.
And you saved the lives of the crew on the Gettysburg. All the crew on the Gettysburg. That's more than I ever hoped we could accomplish. Well, what did you hope would happen?
Maybe save just some of them. You've got some lines
you're off
there.
duty for the next 24 hours, PC name.
Nice. Time to party.
You'll leave with Paladin as soon as he arrives from Gorkar. Dismissed. Alright. So that is it for the middle of Special Operations 1. And next week, or in the future, we may do arena next week, but in the future we will do the Gorkar missions, which are okay until they get to be not okay. Oh, and let me show you this oddity with a crossbow in Academy while we're here. It's nice to be able to just pull up any Wing Commander game and point out stuff. I need to start building like a library of save games and stuff. So just be like, oh, this reminds me of this, and so on. Expanded memory has been detected. So if you see they have these rotating things, which are unbelievably not the sprites that are used for the ships. These are sprites that were rendered separately for the rotation. I'm not clear on why, but they're stored separately. They're in separate files. And the crossbow, which is here, look, it's green and has weird blue lines. It's not the totally white one from the game. So if I take out a crossbow, because I can fly it in this, it's white again. It's because the files were overwritten on Origin's server back then, and they just rendered the new rotation with the wrong art, and it's stuck like that in the game. And the only reason we know that is because somebody happened to save that directory, and we got to look through it. So that is it for our gameplay today. What happened to the light? Did it?
The bulb, I heard it pop.
Oh,
It just
okay.
burn out.
Well, luckily I have another one of those bulbs. But it actually kind of looks cool with the shadow.
Yeah, it's dramatic.
My God, what's going to happen to us next? In fact, the next thing that's going to happen to us is the cargo bay!
I don't know what that means.
Well, this is where we show off some of the Wing Commander stuff we've added to the collection in the last week. So I will... we don't have too much this week, but I do have another Top Gun joystick.
Whoa.
You can model that.
I was
if you
gonna.
want.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Well, this is the job of the big screen. So I obviously had 2 of these last week, and I got one more because this is yet another box variation. This is the final one. This is the USB edition, where it's actually a USB dedicated box. You can see this is USB joystick instead of joystick. There's no sticker. But to compare to previous ones, here's the second design of the box, which has this logo, and this is a sticker. They basically have stuck... This is a sticker that says USB, so they're putting it in the box, the previous box. I mean, there's a reason we care right there, that Privateer Heretic. And Trelane noticed earlier, it mentions Privateer and Privateer 2 in the copyright block. But you see it just says joystick on this one and USB joystick on that one. So
It
that's
says
the thing.
it's USB.
And then there's... This is the first release of it, which has a different Paramount logo. It's got like the old style Paramount Gulf Western-y logo. Doesn't even say joystick. So first they added joystick and they added USB. And because this was such a failure that ruined the company, there are plenty of sealed ones available for less than $20 each. So if you don't have one, keep looking.
Buy 3 of them.
The other specifically Wing Commander thing I have is a poster. This came from Australia, and as you might assume, it is an Australian poster.
What?
So I mean, it's not even that exciting, but it is. I don't know how to share this. It's the Wing Commander theatrical poster.
Here, why don't I take it over here?
All right. And the real difference is at the bottom. Basically, it's got an Australia-specific bottom part with a foxmovies.com.au logo. And, yeah. So, that's the thing. Just a random eBay find. Roll it up now.
Okay.
We'll have to figure out a different way to show posters.
Yes.
I kind of want you remember if you go to like Toys, if you went to Toys R Us back in the day, they would have that like file of posters.
Yes. What, like hanging on the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, they still sell posters that way.
Yeah, it would be cool to have one of those and just put all the Wing Commander posters in like a display. But that's all the exciting Wing Commander stuff I have. The other thing that I got this week for Wing Commander Project are 2 decks of Star of the Guardians, which I talked about last week. And I thought I would show you how much these cards look like Wing Commander, which I mentioned then. We talked about how they rushed this to market to be the first sci-fi one. And so, like, this is what a ship card looks like. You can see it's the same rule set as Wing Commander, but it's something no one has ever heard of. A Julius Caesar heavy cruiser that looks like it was drawn in, like, it's like an asset for, like, Net Trek or something. And they all look like that. They're kind of cool, but
not that cool.
Not that cool. And, like, these ones, like, what is this? But it's the same exact system as Wing Commander, pretty much. You know, modifiers and luck cards and so on. There's a system for the board.
Leha wonders if you want him to check his local store for more of those.
No, I do not. I can tell you right now, your local store probably has a warehouse full of these. I bought these because I wanted to get a look at how they did the playmat so I could make mine. And that part is done. So in fact, if anybody wants these, I will put them in the mail for you. I got two boxes for, I think, $3. And I have no use for them. Apparently they were once $9 at AJ's Books.
A little overpriced, AJ.
Yeah. But, that's all our Wing Commander editions this week. And the next thing we're going to do is this. It's Greg Car Talk. We have a question from, or a discussion topic from Trelane, which says, asteroids, an interesting challenge or annoying game challenge padding? Yes. The answer is yes. My philosophy in asteroids is, yes, they're the most annoying thing in the world. I hate doing a mission where you have to go through an asteroid field. Absolutely frustrating. In Wing Commander 1 and Wing Commander 2 in Privateer, we all have those instances where we were about to win the mission and there was just one asteroid field and just one wrong turn killed us. So, totally annoying, but at the same time, I would argue that they are totally, it makes the game. When you think about a game from a design standpoint, like, two things I would think for a PC game in particular. I can take off my space hat. Two things in particular. One is, one of the huge problems with space games, and it's one of the reasons why we didn't have space games for so long, is it's tough to make space interesting to the average person. Space is incredibly cool, and space dogfights are great, but you can only have so many of them. A Wing Commander game typically has, 30 to 50 missions, and if it's just engaging the same 5 types of fighters in different combinations, it's Doom without a floor or walls in that sense. It's the same thing over and over again in slightly different combinations. So you need stuff like what I would term space weather, the mines in the asteroid field that give you some variety to the map. And I think one of the problems with space game design in general is we got to the point where it was possible to do more interesting things. Massive quasars that disable your shields and cause problems with your communications and so on. And everybody just kind of cheaped out. But asteroids and mines in Wing Commander 1, 2, Privateer, and so on, they gave you some variety to space, some texture to it. And when you think about, yes, they're the most frustrating thing in the world, but that's not a bad thing from a game design standpoint. everybody has that story of how awful it was when they lost that mission. Everybody has 5 stories about the time they made it through an asteroid field. They took one hit and they had one gun left and they couldn't even communicate with the carrier, so it took them 5 minutes to land. You know, that's what makes the game, not, oh, this mission has 5 ships to kill. That was fun. It's those stories, that emergent gameplay where you say, it's that emergent gameplay where you think about it as... You think back to it. What you think back on as being a great story or a great experience is different than, oh, I got the best ship and then I killed everybody. And I am guilty of that. I've been playing Castles 2 lately. It's an old CD32 era strategy game, sort of. And I like it because I can put the entire game design in my head and I can break it so easily, and it's fun and rewarding to just win this game. And, you know, we've all had those Civilization games where we went in and hex-edited us $1 million so we could build all the world wonders in one city. But when we think back to, you know, the canonical play of some game in our head, it's those moments of frustration that make them great. You know, Special Operations 1 isn't terrible because I lost that mission 7 times. It's wonderful because I had that experience and I finally got through it. And then today I played the mission again and it went great and I felt great. And, you know, the game design is the process of dragging you down so you can feel big. And yes, I'm in favor of asteroids. And think about this. What were the asteroids like in Wing Commander 3? What were they like in Wing Commander 4? They were nothing. They were these background realistic things. I remember one of the big things about in the mid-90s was people complaining that, and as the kids say today, trigger warning, these are unrealistic. An asteroid field isn't like that. They're not arcade things to fight your way through. They should be realistic. So for Wing Commander 3, they had realistic asteroids, and you've never been hit by an asteroid in Wing Commander 3. Going through an asteroid field is no challenge. You can even autopilot through them. They're just shapes in the background. You have to try hard to get hit by one. It's so much more fun when it's this arcade thing. One of the best uses of asteroids was the Proving Grounds, which we played a little while ago and we can do again sometime. Proving Grounds did giant asteroids that you could fly around and little ones that would hit you. It was really cool. I wish they had continued that focus on arcade rather than a realistic expanse of space, because that's not interesting. The other thing I was going to point out about asteroids while we were here is the original asteroids in Wing Commander 1, they first had a digital painter try to come up with a space asteroid, and they tried again and again, and it just didn't look right. So they finally took a rock from the parking lot, took a very, very early digital photo scan of it, and that was the asteroid. They just photographed it from different angles and touched it up, and that's where the original Wing Commander asteroid came from. But I got to thinking, after Trillian asked this question, you know, we see these bulbous Wing Commander 2 asteroids, and that reminds me of nothing so much as the Ultima Thule planetoid that was just photographed recently. That looks like a Wing Commander asteroid. So, to hell with them for naming it after Ultima. And those are some thoughts on asteroids. Like, this could be like my angry conservative radio commentator. Kids today don't understand how important it is to suffer through asteroids.
Yep.
In my day, I would have to fly through 7 fields of asteroids, and they were filled with Gothry, and we didn't know about the trick where you shake them. And it's disgusting that these freedom-hating liberals... Anyway, asteroids. They're what's for dinner. And with that... we're getting ready to end our broadcast. Do you have anything you want to say to the folks at home?
No.
All right. No. So I'm going to share something I made earlier in the week as I was trying to get up at 6 a.m. and be creative about stuff. We have end credits for the show. I have sludged them together. You'll see how I did it as soon as they play. The other thing about them is they have a newly reorchestrated piece of music by Utho Riley, and he has done music that's going to go throughout the show once we have everything spiffed up and the new graphics ready, and once this thing is live for everybody and we have literally 12s of people instead of 5 or 6. So this is the first time I guess you get to hear this. I doubled it up at one point, and it sounds okay to me, but I have a tin ear, so I'm sorry if I'm ruin this in any way. So this is just the very first try, and here are the credits.